I'm going to share with you a tale of three graphs. These three graphs have a lot in common. We have x plus 3 squared over 25 plus y minus 2 squared over 16 equals 1. X plus 3 squared over 25 minus y minus 2 squared over 16 equals 1. And negative x plus 3 squared over 25 plus y minus 2 squared over 16 equals 1. They look very similar. We just have some few minor modifications to what's positive and what's negative all the time. So the first one, pretty clearly an ellipse. And the second two are pretty clearly hyperbolas, based on what we've learned so far in this chapter. Now, what I'm about to share with you is hopefully pretty beneficial. If you take a look at each of these three graphs, each of them follows the exact same center and box. The ellipse is inscribed in the box, and both hyperbolas barely are tangent or are tangent to the box in the direction that they need to go. So if you look at these three graphs, they basically all have the exact same center and box or rectangle in common. The rectangle is centered at negative 3, 2, which makes sense because the x plus 3 and y minus 2. And the x radius is 5 in each of these cases. And the y radius is 4 in each of these cases due to the 5 squared and 4 squared in the denominator. So basically what's happening is if we take a look at the ellipse, everything that we know about the ellipse with the focal points and everything, that can all be determined from our box. The hyperbola in the x direction, which would be this one, also has all of the same information. We find the focal length from 4 squared plus 5 squared and taking the square root, and then that's why our focus points are at plus and minus square root of 41, and we can figure out the asymptotes pretty quickly. And then we can also have the hyperbola in the y direction. That would be this one. And we have the exact same situation going on there. Focal length just goes in the y direction instead. But basically what happens is if we have the box and the center, all three of these graphs are centered around this rectangle.